Eating right can also taste great. That's what National Nutrition Month is all about this year. Here to share a delicious and healthy way to feed your entire family, even your picky eaters, is Kate Samela. Kate is a registered dietitian and the author of Give Peas a Chance, the foolproof guide to feeding your picky toddler. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you. Thank you.
Before we get cooking, did you have a picky eater?
I did. I did, and I still do, really, but she's getting so much better. I think my daughter was a cautious eater, so I had to work really hard at getting to understand other parents' perspectives and some tricks to help them learn to like new foods.
So can you give us a few of those tricks?
Sure.
What do you think?
I think some of the most important things are that you have to sit down at the table together no matter what. And one of the biggest things that combats picky eating is making sure that everyone at the table is eating the same thing, which can be troublesome because you have adults who may be watching their weight or wanting to eat really healthy for personal reasons. And then you have kids who really need starchy carbohydrates, added fats, and things that grown-ups may be trying to limit.
So it's tricky, though, because you don't want to be a short-order cook either, though, right?
Right. That's worst-case scenario. So that's absolute survival mode, and we want to try to get families away from that and be okay with, okay, they had a couple bites and just move on.
Got it. And it's important to have that sit-down family dinner,
It's
right?
the most important part of the day.
All right. Well, let's get cooking here. What's on the menu?
So today what I wanted to introduce to families, often you have a picky eater who likes regular kid-friendly food. So grilled cheese, macaroni and cheese, things that most kids will accept on a regular basis. So what I decided to do today is introduce something that's similar to a grilled cheese, but it's a cheese quesadilla with an adult flair. So it's a grilled chicken, cheddar, and apple quesadilla.
Oh, it's a great flavor.
Yeah, so it kind of touches everyone's taste buds, so to speak, and it's very likable. And what we do, you want me to start showing you what I'm doing?
That'd be great.
So I brought in 2 different color tortillas so you could mix it up a little bit, and it's really simple and it can be made honestly in like 20 minutes. So what I like to do is take shredded cheddar cheese and just start spreading it onto one side of the quesadilla. Don't try to do both because it won't work out. Okay. It'll flip-flop over. These are basically Granny Smith apples that I've diced into super, super tiny pieces. The last thing you want for someone who may have texture issues is a large chunk of fruit.
And that's for kids' texture issues?
Yeah, oh yeah, well, I mean, believe me, there are grown-ups out there who probably still have texture issues, but for the little kids, they like things that are manageable.
Okay.
So things that break apart in their mouth aren't easily accepted. So if you had a huge chunk of apple, that might be difficult for them to manage. Same thing with this grilled chicken. It's just chopped super fine and kind of embedded, not necessarily hidden in the quesadilla, but it will cook to a consistency where they can really manage chewing it, swallowing it, and hopefully enjoying it.
Okay.
And the best part is you just cover it. What I have in here is a little bit of canola oil. And you want your skillet to be on medium, so like 5 to 6. Not too hot that it's going to burn the sides black, but a nice golden brown is the ideal consistency.
And did you pick canola oil versus vegetable or
olive? That's a good question. So the big thing now are GMOs. People are really worried about genetically modified foods.
Okay.
And canola oil, I'm kind of setting myself up here, is one of the most genetically modified foods out. And what we worry about is that even though genetically modified foods are meant to help increase crops and can feed a whole country someday, but we just don't know the health risks of having food that's been engineered.
Got it. Okay.
So what you can buy is genetically modified free, GMO-free canola oil.
And that's what you're using.
Yeah,
Very
that's what
good.
I buy.
Okay.
So it is a little bit pricey, but I do think it's worth it. If you wanted to use olive oil, you're fine because there's not many GMOs found in olive oils. But soy-based oil, like a vegetable blend, is also a high content of GMOs.
Oh, that's interesting.
So,
okay.
Yeah, so it's good to do that. So what you're doing here, I'm just hitting the stove to be a little bit higher, is you're going to let that sit and sort of take a few minutes to crisp. It'll take about 3 minutes on each side, depending upon how hot your skillet gets. And the best tool in the kitchen are going to be your tongs. Without tongs, you actually cannot make it. I've tried to see it done. It just doesn't work.
You probably can't flip it that easily, right?
You can't flip it that easily. So when you're letting it sizzle, in the meantime, what you can do is get your side dishes together. So what do you serve this with for kids?
That's a good question.
Spicy salsa? Probably not. I know my son who's watching today ate spicy stuff from the get-go. So he was
always
interested in that. What I decided to do today in honor of National Nutrition Month is show people how something that's savory, like a quesadilla, can really be sweet as well.
Okay.
So this salsa is actually a pineapple-based salsa that I did not make on my own, but there's many varieties. There's a mango peach that you can buy. There's a fruity pineapple, and it pairs really nicely with the apple in the
good.
chicken and cheese quesadilla.
Very nice.
And on this side, this is a little bit more of an adult-based salsa, so it's got a little spice and chunks of green peppers in it. And what you can see, so technically these are two different plates, right? So they're a little different. However, they really have the same theme of what's going on.
Absolutely. There's a few less little pieces there, a bigger salad. I get it.
So this would be for me.
I got it.
Because if I'm trying to, if I've worked out and I'm careful and I don't want all my carbohydrates at night,
sure,
I would rather have something like a big salad with 2 to 3 pieces of the quesadilla. Whereas if you give this to a 4-year-old,
they're not going to be so happy with
I don't think they're going to be that motivated. Yeah, I don't think they're going to be motivated to come to dinner. So the key is to maintain likeness.
Got it.
So it's like product likeness.
Yeah,
you want to make sure it's the same.
Everyone's eating the same
and
thing.
everybody's eating the same thing, and everyone's getting their nutrients in their own ways that their own bodies need them.
It's a great idea, and of course we'll have the recipe over at WTNH.com. Just click on style. Very good here. And